good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles, and you're listening to Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where you know I'll always keep it real. Let's get right into it. Look, on Real Talk, we only bring heavy hitters. I'm trying to tell y'all, we only bring heavy hitters right here. We got a heavy hitter in herself, Treasure Wilson. Treasure Wilson, welcome to Real Talk with MJ. Before I give you my little intro, your little intro.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, yeah. And so y'all don't know who Treasure Wilson is, Stat Baby. I'll give y'all a little intro. You probably do though. You probably do. So she's a recent alum of University of Miami, broadcast journalism student with she also did you minor in poli-sci as well?
Yeah, poli-sci theater and media management.
Yep, y'all see it. Born in Jacksonville, Florida, Tampa Bay native. And she has a passion to not only like inspire, educate, and empower people through her own journalism. So while she was at University of Miami, she was real active, whether it was University of Miami TV as a sports desk anchor. She did photography. She was a president and vice president of the NABJ chapter there. She recently was the Journalist of the Year for the NCAA or NAACP chapter there as well. So she's doing her thing. And most recently, probably know her as the host. They call her Stat Baby, Stat. At for It Is What It Is, one of the most popular shows, if not the most popular show, most growing, Black show as well out right now. So again, just we're gonna have some sound effect that's like some clapping or something like that. Somebody's gonna put that. But again, Treasure, welcome to Real Talk. It's really an honor to have you on here.
Thank you. So let's get it.
Let's get it. And like first off, just describe how this year has been for you. Describe how this year has been for you. Been real busy. I was like, I was trying to book this episode with you, and you was like, hey, I can probably do 6 feet. I could probably do it this time, but I don't know. Like something might come up. But
Right.
like, tell me how like this whole like year has been for you though.
Right. So this year has definitely been unreal. Everybody forgets that I was a college student. I was finishing my last year while I started the show, actually. So it was like finals, senior thesis, senior projects, like me still trying to get it in. And then I'm like hosting this sports show, on the side. And I was working for another sports company all at the same time while still handling my positions. This year changed very quickly. It's like I blinked and now I'm here and like things keep moving forward. I haven't even had the time to kind of like stop and reflect back on where I was before. But overall, it's very, very, very exciting. I'm just happy to be here. If you know me, I'm real down to earth, cool. Just happy to be here. That's it.
That's what's up. And yeah, like I think we first met, was it, I don't know if it was AGP.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been, it was either AGP or I know like Line Sisters came. We was it
Yes.
was good there. And then we came to the A and then we was kicking it. So we always been cool, always admired her work.
Yeah.
And always
And I
had
always admired his. I got to throw that in there. I always admired Miles' work. It was like a click when we first met because it was like we see each other because we know we're both doing this and trying to grind to the top, and we've been doing a great job of it. So it's been real cool.
no effects like. And like that's really like in any profession. I just love to see like my friends, like my contemporaries, like beyond it and beyond their grind. Like never mind somebody that's in journalism and is
Right.
not and pursuing something like on air too, and not only pursuing
Right.
it, doing it big too. So
Right.
and this was definitely something that I know we like talked about. I want you on the podcast
Yes.
before, and I'm just glad it's finally in motion. So my next
Yeah.
question is, what made you choose career in sports media? Like what made you interested in sports and to be on the media side on the being on air in that aspect?
Okay. So it's actually interesting when you ask this question because when I applied to the colleges that I applied to, I actually applied mechanical engineering. I thought I wanted to be an engineer, and just something for Miami's application, I decided to do broadcast journalism because if you do know me, you can look back at my YouTube videos. I have been interviewing people since literally middle school, and I was trying to find exactly the track that I wanted. But I was always interested in sports. I did play basketball and I did field in high school. I always watched football and stuff with my dad. And so then I tried out to be a sports desk anchor at the University of Miami, and I loved sports desk so much. And then coincidentally, one of the years Super Bowl was being held in Miami, so I kind of really got to see it live in action, and it kind of solidified this is what I want to do: sports and entertainment reporting, on camera interviews, stuff like that. So yeah.
What's up? And how was your experience overall at Miami? I've been there a couple of times for spring break, and
Yeah.
I know we got some like mutual friends. Shout
Yeah.
out my one friend from like middle school, elementary school, Khalil. I know he went there. And, always connected with him when I was there. But how is it like at
Yeah.
Miami at a city where like people go there for like spring break, but like no, it's students like you that graduated like that was their whole life for 4 years.
Yeah. Going to Miami was the best experience I've ever had. Um, I would say a lot of people kind of struggled with balance because you got to remember we're these young college students in a huge city, a city that people don't even move out to until their late 20s, maybe early 30s, because it's very expensive. So we're being put in this big city around all these high profile celebrity people. Like I can't even, I'm not even going to name names, but I can't even tell you the amount of people in the industry, and it's just very high up who I've met just at parties, going out, or even networking events and stuff like that. So it definitely put my perspective on the world on a more global perspective, because I was like, okay, there's more here than just college. So let me take this opportunity to meet people, introduce myself. And I think, I mean, looking back now, it kind of set me up because I do work with high profile people. So it was something that I was kind of already used to. But basically, just using all my resources, networking, putting myself out there, it definitely gave me the best experience at that school.
And so you talk about networking, and I definitely want to know both be able both gonna go to NABJ,
Mhm.
and I know that's like a big networking experience too, but I feel like you've done like a great job at Miami with all the opportunities that you've got in networking and like post graduation, like too. And so what advice would you give with networking? Then a follow-up question with that. How did you land the spot as host of It Is What It Is?
Right. Okay. So my first advice for anybody trying to get into networking, you don't have to be an extrovert to be able to talk to people. Like if there's something that you're passionate about, if you know, like, okay, I'm a little shy, find a way to get somebody's email, find a way to get a phone number. If you know that you're not the best at speaking in person, there are a lot of people who are open to talk to you if you just reach out. I would also say don't be afraid to take risk. I think a lot of people, like, if you know that your opportunity is right there in front of you, right? Why would you not take the chance to go and grab it? You know what I'm saying?
That
Don't hold yourself back. Don't start doubting yourself and saying, like, oh, I can't do this. Because you never know what you can do until you're in that position to do it. And then I would definitely say, try all the talents and all the things that you're interested in. So moving forward, kind of along to how I got that role, it's interesting because I actually do have an acting agent and I was doing acting roles. I did do a semester in Los Angeles. So I was building up my portfolio. And then there was one basically like things saying that they needed somebody who was interested in sports. I did not know it was going to be a sports show at all. I just knew, okay, I was making content for another company called Playmaker. I was posting stuff. I liked doing sports content. That's why I was a sports desk anchor. And I
Mhm.
applied not thinking anything of it. Like they don't tell you this is going to be an up and coming sports show with Cameron and like none of that is said. So I just applied, like I said, going back to taking a risk because I was like, I like sports. I can audition. I've been doing this acting stuff. Why not? I went in, it was a studio, said it is what it is, didn't know the studio, didn't know the people. I just met with the casting director, the project manager, and they were like, okay, we want you to sit up on this desk and basically like do like a kind of like a cold read about sports topics. We're going to debate with you right here, right then. I didn't even know what we were going to talk about. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't even that much prepared. I just knew I had an audition.
Yeah.
Went up there, basically got like a call back, and then boom, when I came back that next day, it was Cameron saying like, I liked your audition. We got this new show. We're gonna have a chance at it. And that's kind of how it went. So I didn't know it was going to be this. Nobody knew it was going to be this.
Wow. And when was
Yeah.
when was this? Like, what's like the timeline?
Yeah. So the timeline is the most crazy thing about all of this. I think that audition was in February, and I don't think I started hosting on the desk until end of March.
And so you were still a student too. So you still trying to
Yes.
graduate, and
Yes.
you a host at one of the most popular shows with guy more famous,
Yeah.
famous rapper, and Cameron and
Yeah.
Mason. That's crazy.
Yeah, I literally had class. Like people don't understand how much I had to do. Like I had class, I had tests, I had projects, and I would maybe my class ended like 3:15, and I had a very strict teacher. She didn't let you leave early. She didn't let you if you missed 2 classes, you would drop a whole letter grade.
Oh,
So I was like doing that, and obviously school comes first, but I was doing that. Then sometimes I would come to class like camera ready, and then have to like bolt all the others to across town to go in the studio to film. So it was a lot, but it was also fun. It just kept me busy. So
and so like, what advice would you give for journalists and especially women as well that are have aspirations to make a career and a long lasting career in media and as on air talent?
I would say my biggest advice would be don't be afraid to take up space. Don't minimize yourself and think that you can't voice your opinions. If there's something that you don't like or something that you think should be talked about, say it. These men, like the industry, like obviously there's not too much of us, but there's starting to be more of us. Like people want to get a woman's perspective, believe it or not, on stuff like this because we all think differently. Don't be afraid to just say like, hey, I have this idea. I think another thing, yes, I'm the host for the show, but people also forget that I'm the content producer. So I actually bring the topics to the show, write it down.
Mm.
Nothing is written for me. All that stuff that I think of, like I have it written down. I bring it, me and Cam and Mace have content meetings and I bring it forth. Like, don't be afraid. Also, don't get stuck in the whole like Starstruck thing because that's gonna be your downfall.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sit here and think like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting with like, yes, still recognize and respect who they are because they've made it to where we can be where we are now, but still recognize like this is work, you know?
Mm.
Be careful with your relationships. Obviously, being a woman in the industry, there are people who are going to try to hit on you. Keep it professional. Always keep it professional and just stick to the grind. Like we're here to work and that work will show if you stay focused, keep to it and vocalize your opinions.
Yeah, I definitely reiterate that with like the being starstruck piece. I remember I had a time where I was like a guest sideline reporter for Chris Haynes. Like this was for MLK Day, and so I'm like right with Chris Haynes, and obviously like this is somebody that I look to his reports on Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
Want to get the newest news. He broke the Damian Lillard trade request report, and
Yeah.
so this is somebody I've looked up to. But you still have to show them that you belong, not that you're just a fan, but that hey, like I got something to bring to the table, and don't be afraid to like show how much you worked. Like show like you worked for some. You obviously like for Treasure, like there was a reason why she was even there for that audition. Like feel me, like she was there for a reason. She put in the work to do that, and then she capitalized that. So one thing that my dad always tells me is like capitalize off the opportunity because you might get only one
Yes.
opportunity, and you gotta make it count. Like you gotta make it count. And with so many people in sports, like if you miss the opportunity, it's somebody else that's coming to take your spot. Like, is somebody coming to take your spot? Like, just like that. So like, that's another piece of advice I give. Now,
Definitely.
want to shift it as well in terms of like people that you've interviewed. What was like the first interview that you had, and how have you seen yourself grow since that first interview?
Okay, the first interview on the show or the first interview that I've
First,
done?
the first thing you like in general. I know you're talking about like high school. You was like interviewing people, but yes, I get like your
Yeah.
first interview that you can recall.
Okay. Like I said, y'all, I was doing this recording back stuff back in middle school. Um, I'll say like my first real interview because in middle school and high school, I was doing, like I said, public interviews with random people. But my first like real one, I will say, was at the Tampa Bay Pro Combine. Um, that I believe was my sophomore year. I don't remember the exact year. And I so it was like a new thing that they were doing, and they didn't really have like media for real, and I wasn't like next to any company. So I ended up reaching out and like asking for like a media pass. They ended up granting me one. So I brought my camera because I had a camera at the time, brought a friend, had her be my camera woman, had a little mic, and I had interview questions for the people at the combine. And I would say that was like my first interview because it helped me kind of figure out more of my flow, like what type of interviewer do I want to be? I never wanted to be super, super serious. I always want to get to the information, but I didn't want it to be sit down and boring, like, oh, like, how did you perform this game? How did you, like, no, I wanted it to be fun, like to show more of somebody's character. So I interviewed a couple of people there. That was like my first real, like, big interview. And that's when I realized, like, this is what I want to do.
All right, so now fast forward to your favorite interview. What's the favorite? I know you told me, but I want the other people to know, like, what was the favorite interview that you've had?
Yeah. So, like, obviously Stephen A,
Come
because
on now,
Stephen A is
yeah.
like, right. If you're into any type of on-air journalism, not even on air, if you're into sports journalism, period, we know Stephen A is that man. He is the face. So that was definitely like, whoa. It was super cool. And I got to sit next to him during the interview and ask my own questions. If you look back at the episode, if you guys watch it, is what it is. You can see like Cam gives me the opportunity to also ask my own personal questions. Yeah, which was really, really, really dope. But my favorite interview for sure was Paul Pierce. Like he was just so funny. Like I think
I'm
just
waiting
all
for
of us,
that.
yeah, and everybody's waiting for that. It's coming soon, but I think all of us just sitting in that room and just being able to sit back and like it didn't even feel like a structural like, okay, so how did you feel about being a Hall of Fame? Like it was very much so, okay, so what happened on that IG live? Like it was real cool.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. But that was definitely a very, very, very fun interview.
Yeah, that's what I like about y'all show.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I believe like we're seeing that's some is popped in my mind, like all these layoffs that we've seen in like these mainstream like sports networks. No, one reason why I believe this happened is because people are watching it is what it is. They're watching $1 million worth of game. They're watching like these various like podcasts and shows that give like real authentic takes, and they're not like filtered by Disney or you can really be yourself on there. So like,
Right.
what was your thoughts on like the ESPN layoffs and all
Yeah.
that? Because my takeaway was this is more affirmation that like if you have your own platform or if you have something like it's important to have ownership of like your own stuff. Like make sure that you going ahead and you going after and you getting for it on your own and not like worrying about like, oh, I should get this check from this big, media
Right.
network, because your expiration date can happen just like that if you don't prioritize
Right.
your own career and all that. So like, what was your like thoughts on that? I know y'all talked about that on the show a little bit, but yeah, love to hear your thoughts.
Right. So, Miles, I 100% agree. I think that was definitely an eye opener because also, if you're any sort of sports junkie journalism student, like the end goal, I think, for everybody is like ESPN, ESPN, ESPN. And seeing all those layoffs for people who are very talented, have been there for years, have great loyalty, it's really scary. First of all, like we all, I think, salute in just the on air community, like we want the best for all of us. But it does put in perspective what can you do like if those companies aren't around? You know what I'm saying? How are you marketing yourself? Like you said, creating your own content. It's the new media. People don't even need reporters to really interview athletes and stuff as much anymore because athletes are creating their own podcasts.
Yeah.
They're answering their own questions. So you really have to think outside of the box. Like I think we should use social media to our advantage. Like we do have TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, using our platforms. And I even think just like collaborating with the people who are, like older than us and have been in the field, like it's time. Like for the longest, it used to kind of just be them, but I think it's even time to bring us up. Like even if you guys watch First Take, Stephen A. kind of brought on Monica McNutt. She's a lot younger, but I think that dynamic, just having people younger and being on the platform, just being able to ask questions that they typically wouldn't think of, is what's helping us grow in the sports community, on air, all that stuff. So it's scary, but create your own content and don't be afraid to even do some like social media type of content, because I mean that's how we're consuming all this stuff.
No, facts. Like I tell all of my friends, like the biggest advocate of your work is gonna be yourself. So everywhere you at, whether you at some convention like an NABJ or you're, doing your own thing on your podcast or you got some opportunity, like if you don't post that on LinkedIn, if you don't post that on Instagram, YouTube, I mean, like it's so easy to create your own platform now. You literally can have like not to like boast nothing, but like I had a video that got 50K views off of my iPhone 13. Like it's just like pick up the camera. And so like one thing that I would that my only regret with Real Talk with MJ, I started it in July 2020, but I didn't start like recording videos until like February 2021 because I wanted to get like a camera. But like if
Right.
I really could have just started like right then and there and got more reps like on camera, but everything happens for a reason.
Right.
But like, that's just an example of like, don't be afraid, like put your content out there, and just keep, being your biggest advocate. So my next
Yeah.
question is, and then we're gonna get into some hoops and all that. I know people watching you want to hear about the hoops and all that. My last question is, who are some of your role models? Who are some of your role models in the sports industry, people that you look up to?
Right. So my number one role model, y'all, I say it every time I get the chance to say it, is Taylor Rooks.
Yeah.
I think right now she's doing Bleacher Report. She was doing Monday Night Football, but we'll see if she returns for that this year through Amazon. Y'all, I'm sorry, I love a Black woman in sports. She's killing it. I love the dynamic she has with every athlete she interviews, keeps it super professional. And she's just entertaining to watch. She's real down to earth. I actually got to talk to her once, only once, because she had a little live and invited me. I was like, that was before I was doing any of this. I was geeked. Yes, I was so geeked to see Taylor Rooks. I would hope to see her again, because I just feel like there's not too much of us. Like a lot of the people that are analysts and stuff used to play basketball and like we're in the NBA, WNBA. So it's like it's nice to see a woman who kind of took it a different route. I mean, Joy Taylor's cool too, but Taylor Rooks will forever be my inspiration. And of course, Stephen A, because he's the man with the plan, but for sure, Taylor Rooks.
Yeah, I mean, and she's like actually like one of the people like if you see her in person, like or it's like me like she's actually like a nice person. Like I remember
Yes.
NBA All-Star weekend in Cleveland 2022, and we was at the I believe like it was the HBCU Classic. So it was like with Morgan State and Howard, and she was there. I got a pic with her. I'm gonna show it somewhere here. I'm gonna flex for a little bit. I'm gonna flex a little bit. I got myself a pic, but she was like real cool. Like even we had a Spelman woman with us too. That was writing articles and all that, and she was dropping her game as like a Black woman in sports. So like she one of them people like she is how she be acting like on like social media and all that. So no, that's like that's a great choice for me. Stephen A for sure. Like people might not like his takes all the time, but like one thing I can respect is like the grind and like the grind to also like get to that point. Cause you don't get to that point to where like Stephen A, like I like Chris Broussard, like all these people like without being a great writer too. So like writing is a key thing to like you gotta know how to write. You gotta know how to I think also in this stage know how to edit, know how to, do it all because that separates you. So don't just be like I want to be on air and I just want to, not do any of like that dirty work. Like, see, Treasure is an example. She was doing everything before she got, the position as host of It Is What It Is. She was a photographer. She was on the sports desk. She was doing it all. So look at this as an example. Like, heck, like I'm gonna have to grind. Like, but once it's my
Yeah.
opportunity, like I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I'm gonna go
And I
ahead and
gotta add to that real quick, because when you learn everything, you'll be more than prepared. And people forget the writing aspect. Like I swear, people think I just go up on there and I sit up there and I read like my notes, y'all. Like I'm always writing, finding stuff. Like my notes are deep, heavy. I'm always writing some sort of article, doing some in-depth analysis, taking photos, video editing. Like you have to know how to do it all. So yes,
it actually
yes, yes,
prompted
yes.
me like, where has your drive came from? Like, where's has your drive
Huh?
came from? Your drive,
Uh,
like determination, all that.
Yeah, I was always super competitive. So like when it came to a boy telling me I couldn't do something, I'm like, okay, watch. That's the first thing.
Yeah,
Being competitive. Two, I just always wanted more for myself. I think when you're in a position where you're like, like if I actually try something, I'm pretty good. Like, and it's okay to pat yourself on the back because other people will tell you, like, I don't know. Like, I like to try things and I can't really explain where my drive comes from because I feel like it has to be within you. Like it's really something that you have to find to see that you're passionate about something. And clearly it all comes from passion. Like this is something that I've always wanted to do. So you find it in you to really realize that. And I think a lot of people nowadays are doing something that they don't want to do because you get scared to try other things, whether it might not make money or it might not do this, and that's when it goes back to taking risks. So
yep.
yeah.
That's what's up. So let's get into hoops. You ready?
Bye.
Alrighty, let's get it. So news broke out today. So news broke out today. Jordan Poole's dad came on, I think it was like Twitter or something, and he was saying, here's what he said. Here's what he said. I'm gonna stand on this. This is some BS. He was responding to what Draymond Green said on Patrick Beverly's podcast. Draymond was basically like talking about, what was actually they actually mentioned it is what it is. They mentioned what Cameron said in terms of Jordan Poole. He said something like, "You're not." He was like, "Your name Money Green, but you ain't got money." So I was cracking up.
Yeah.
That was so funny. But like Jordan Poole's dad responded, basically like going off like, what's your thoughts on just like the way that like it's escalated, but like also like the influence of y'all show? Because now it's like
Yeah.
it's gotten to a point to where now it's like, you feel me, other outlets are asking the direct players that's happening
Right.
to this, like what's happened, but like, just what's your thoughts on that situation?
Right. So, as Cam said in our episode, we are the new source. Okay. People
Yeah,
forget that nowadays, like I said, sometimes with journalists, athletes can be a little nervous speaking out to them because you never know how that story is going to be twisted. But hey, I can't say who's talking to who, but I will say rap and sports, like hip hop and sports, go together, right? So these people all talk to each other. So we did break that story, and I did see Draymond on Pat Bev's podcast talking about it. Hey man, I can't say what's going on specifically between them. I do say Jordan Poole doesn't look the happiest with Wizards right now,
the
which
beard.
I mean that's against his control. That is against his control. I just think, hey, like with these athlete podcasts, it's just going to keep going back and forth. I mean, his dad speaking out. I mean, that's what you would do, as a father. But I'm just trying to see some shake on the court.
Yeah,
Like, let's
yeah, I'm
be
just
for
seeing
real.
some
I'm
of
trying
that.
to see some shake on the court. So
I feel
that's
like
all.
when the Wizards play Golden State, I mean, that's gonna be something because like you see clearly it's a lot there that ain't
Right.
that ain't been squashed and all that. I think he's still cool with Steph. I think even
Yeah.
like he's cool with like Clay, but yeah, Clay, that
Yeah.
relationship like is done.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's very hostile. Like even Jordan Poole and followed Draymond. And I
Yeah.
don't think Draymond cares. He don't. He ain't worried about him. He's not. Let's just be for real. He's not.
And I mean like with Draymond, I respect that like with the Warriors, like they gonna stick with the guys that like got them there. So like they're not going to jump ship and say, well, this guy is, Jordan Poole, he's younger, like he got more potential. It was like, hey, at Draymond's age, we gonna give him a 4-year contract. I think it was mostly based on the fact that of what he's done to get them 4 championships. Big reason why they got Kevin Durant, who got them 2 championships, and they've planned on also. I think Joe Lacob said he's going to lock up Klay Thompson too. So I mean, like I like the fact that they sticking with their guys that got them there, and they're gonna ride with the guys that got them there. Now, free agency. I guess this is free agency trade. Damian Lillard,
Mhm.
he said that he only wants to go to Miami. Are you a Heat fan?
Oh, I'm definitely a Heat fan.
Even all right. So as a Heat fan, like how you feel like y'all about to do if y'all get Dame? Like Paul Pierce talking about some not getting out the
Right,
first round, not getting out the first round. What do
right.
you think that? Because
I
I mean,
don't I don't know, y'all. I'm holding on because I really am a Heat fan. Jimmy Butler is my favorite player, him and Giannis. Um, it's like I don't specifically think Dame could fix the situation with the Heat, and the Heat is known for taking on a lot of new guys. Let them try to test stuff, but I think they would have no choice but to make it fit. I think Dame really wants to be obviously he wants to be somewhere else. So I think he's gonna put forth, as much as he can to see if we can win a ring, get to the semifinals, something. I don't think he would just get on there and quit. Like some other players have, but I'm not gonna name who. But I think it would be great for us. Do I think it's happening? I don't know.
you know.
I don't think they have a good enough trade package to make it happen unless they give away some of our key players, which they're not giving away Bam, they're not giving away Jimmy, Tyler Hero. Like it's just, I don't know. I
See,
don't
I
know.
think
But
so.
we all, if you're a Heat fan, we all want it to happen. So
Yeah. See, I feel like it will happen. I
mhm.
think a guy like Tyler Hero, I saw that he took out the Heat out of his bio. Like I think he
Yeah,
knows, and he knows the inevitable. He knows that uh the Heat will either want to just trade him directly to Portland or they're trying to find a 3-team trade or something. I think
right.
that the Blazers now on their side, it wouldn't make sense for them off rip just to say, you know what, Dame, we're gonna do exactly what you say and send him. That
Yeah.
probably wouldn't make sense on their part. The GM would probably get fired if he just do that directly. So I think that they weigh in to see if there's anything that pops up, but that could be better. I know like the Jazz, they could definitely give it all those draft picks they got with Donovan Mitchell, with Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
They could do some. Uh I was saying stuff with my Sixers, but we're gonna talk about them too. Like oh man, like I don't think they can really do nothing, and I don't want to trade my
Right.
man Tyrese Maxey. So
And you
it's
shouldn't.
hard.
But
They shouldn't. So hard pressed to see a team aside from the Heat that will like trade like a lot of their valuable assets when they know that like Dame doesn't truly want to be there. But like one
right.
team I will say, is on the lookout is the Celtics. And
Mhm.
end up if they end up saying we're not going, we're cool off Jalen Brown, then that's a deal break. I know that for sure. Like
Yeah.
the Blazers doing that in like in a heartbeat. So I think that's like a dark horse right there. But I think it's set in stone. Y'all about to have Dame in Miami, and then you have that 305. You got Bam, you got Jimmy, you got Dame. I mean, hey, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be real tough. That's gonna
I
be
mean, the team to beat really is like the Celtics and the Bucks. I'm not a Celtics fan at all. Like, obviously, I respect Jason Tatum, of course, but I'm sick of y'all. I'm real sick of
sick of
y'all.
him. Okay.
So I don't know if Dame is that tool, like I was saying kind of before, to beat those teams. I don't know.
So who would you
Um,
say for y'all is, or how would y'all get over the hump then?
is the
Because y'all
tool
gave up Gabe Vincent, y'all gave up Caleb
Max
Martin,
Struess? Yeah,
Max. You feel me? So I think those were
yeah,
to try and free up cap space to get Dame. So
I
y'all was getting
know.
Dame. What y'all do?
Who do I think? Um,
Maybe like a Zach Levine. I could see that. I could
I
see
don't even know. To be honest, in a perfect world, I wish that we could just have better rookies. You could give me anybody from OKC. I'm cool with them. Like
yeah, they got
something
everybody. They got an
like
AAU team damn near. Like,
like we get close every year without having it completely made.
Man, that's
Um,
like a damn good coach.
so that's why it's like holding on, which is why I think Dame would be a great choice, but I still don't know if he's enough.
Mm.
Everything's up in the air. But all I can do is sit back and hope for the best.
Now back to my team, uh,
Yeah.
the Sixers.
Yeah.
I was on record basically like going off on Joel Embiid. I was
Mhm.
mad at his comments about he was saying I just want to win a championship in Philly or anywhere else. I'm like, dude, your chance to win a championship is in Philly. Like you just gotta play better. That's all you
Right.
gotta do. So how you feel about like those comments, and then definitely want to talk about like James Harden, him like saying I want to go to the Clippers, but do the Clippers really want James Harden? I don't know.
Right. Well, one, James Harden, that man is tired. He's
Yeah.
so sick and tired. He just want to go anywhere where he can win. His situation, he's not the same type of player as Chris Paul, but it gives me that same type of situation, just wanting something new again. And as far as Joel Embiid, I think that whole conversation rubbed everybody the wrong way because it's like, okay, we're rooting for you. Like, we want somebody other than Jokic, MVP, cool. But just the way that everything went down, it did look pretty bad on his part. And I know that's frustrating because y'all was rooting for him. And
Yeah,
then for him, the comments that he made, it's like, dang, at least be a team player. Like, because if I'm on the team, I'm like, shoot, I don't even want to play with you because you ain't even really worried about me like that since you think it's all you. Like,
I'm
it
saying.
changes your whole attitude about it. So
Hmm,
I don't
that's
know.
crazy. I
But that's
mean,
your team.
as my team, like I'm like, how you gonna do that to us? I'm like, God, like, how is Tyrese Maxey gonna really think about
Right.
that?
Right.
Like, damn. So, am I not enough? Like, I
Right.
did a pretty good job, or whatever. So, yeah, that's some my radar. I just feel like for me, I'm focused on football season now. I'm focused on my
Oh
Eagles.
yeah.
We got training camp.
Y'all
July
are great.
25th. I got to make an episode on that. Tune in for that
Yeah.
next week. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. Got a couple more things on the NBA side. Want to know your top 5 players in the NBA
Right now.
right now. Top 5 players in the NBA.
Okay. Um, am I do like that's a hard because it's like Jimmy Butler forever gonna be my favorite player, but he's not a top five. So one, I'm gonna put Jokic. Two, does it have to be in order? I'm not putting in order because two, I'm putting Steph in.
You don't gotta put. I mean,
Two,
we all know Jokic.
I'm putting Steph in there because I can't order it right now.
Yeah,
So Jokic, Steph. Um, it's like this is hard because I think KD is one of the greatest players, and
KD. We got Embiid. We got
like putting him at five, putting him in top five right now is also hard.
who else? We got
Yeah,
Giannis in
people are
there.
going to be on me.
Giannis.
Because Giannis is great too, but I'm like top five right now. Okay, boom. Jokic, Steph. I'm gonna put KD up there. I just think he's a great player. We'll see what happens for them in the Mavs this year.
Mm,
And I would put him over Devin Booker. Giannis,
that's
Jason
true.
Tatum.
I like the Tatum one. I like the Tatum one. He gave my Sixers 50. I mean, like I was sick that day. I was like, I just gotta give it to him. I like the Tatum
Mhm.
one. Yeah, I feel like Giannis and Jokic's locks. I don't know about
Mhm.
KD one treasure. I give you.
I
I say, what about my man Luca?
right
What about my
now,
man Luca?
it's so the thing about Luca, seeing him in the Mavs and Kyrie's dynamic, I don't know. I didn't really like that trade per se. And yes, he is one of the top players, but I also just got to see him again this year because I definitely at the beginning of the year I had him as I was on him for the MVP hype train, and after seeing him play this year, not saying that he didn't deliver. I mean, statistically, yes, Luca would be over KD, but I'm sick of just trying to be part of the hype. Like, I feel like that's what the analysts, like, that's the classic top 5 players going into this year.
Yeah.
So Luka, yes, is one of the best players right now, but I'm leaving him out of my top 5 just because.
See, I gotta go with Jokic, Giannis.
Because,
Um, I do think, yeah, it do look bad that that Luka did miss the playoffs with the playing game,
so,
too,
yeah.
which is kind of crazy. Um, I do think Luka's top 5, but the problem with Luka though is that I feel like he has that James Harden syndrome. He was in Houston, to where like he wants to do every single thing,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like, to win, you can't be doing every single thing. I feel like
Right.
in group project, doing school
Yeah.
project, if you're doing every single thing, I mean, you might get an A, but like you better off
Right.
sharing the load, and then
Right.
you get a better result in that aspect. So I think like Luka gonna have to trust his teammates more, defend. Um, Interested to see like speaking of KD, like what the Suns will do this season. You know, they got Bull Bull. They got Bradley Beal.
They're going
They
to be
got
great this year. They are.
you like him?
Yeah. I think they're going to be really good this year.
Mm.
But there's a lot to see. Like, I'm really interested to see how the Warriors are going to be this year too now. Like, there's this year is a
Yeah.
real interesting year in sports. So I'm excited
Saying,
to see it all.
saying. So last thing, they announced the NBA in season tournament. What's
Yeah.
your what's your thoughts about that?
Yeah. I it's not like I have strong opinions on it. I think it's just another fun thing to go to. To me, in comparison in football, it kind of just gives me Pro Bowl type of thing. It's like, okay, this is just another exciting thing to watch. I think it's going to be cool to see different players play with different people. But I don't really have any strong opinions on it. I think the league is just trying to add more things that people can kind of tune into. I don't know how viewership did this year. So maybe that's just another thing. Adam Silver's like, you know what? We're gonna add this. Like,
You always
so
add some new, get them ratings up.
like, okay, like we might hate it. So
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like you look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Like let's say a player got five in season tournament championships, but
like,
he's never went to the finals or he's never won
yeah,
like the championship. Like, how are we really gonna like judge him? Or a guy like LeBron who look Curry, they're at the end of their careers, KD, they never had this. So like how many would they have gotten if they had that? Like I know it was a time the Heat, they won 27 games straight. I'm pretty sure they would have won the
yeah,
cup that year. So
yeah,
it kind of gives me like Champions League vibes, like
yeah.
soccer, the format that they got. But Adam Silver is definitely innovated, trying to do some kind of
Anything.
feelings on it, but we'll just see. Just how product plays out.
Yeah.
Did
Really,
want
so make players more busy.
Yeah, it
Maybe
really is. I mean, because
keep
look,
people out of trouble.
they got the 65 games minimum to get the NBA award. So they're forcing these players some way, somehow. You gonna care about the regular season.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow, you gonna care. Like, we not
Right.
playing. I think the low management thing is out of proportion. Like,
Yeah.
all right, like if you injured, all right, like if you actually injured, all right, I get it, bro. But like if you just trying to rest or whatever, Kawhi, the only guy I give him, all right, he actually like has really bad knees. I can see that. But all these other guys, you younger, you resting, like come on now. Like, come on now.
Right.
So uh last thing as we get off like the basketball tip, uh really what is something that you would say to your younger self with all the knowledge that you've accumulated now with all the uh opportunities you've received? What's like a
Mhm.
message that of advice, or just what's a message that you would say to yourself, your younger self?
Mhm. I would say keep going, because this is really only the beginning. If you have followed me or know, I just turned 22. I'm very young. They make fun of me on the show all the time for how young I am, but I'm young and I'm doing it. And I have plenty more years to keep going. So I'm just very proud of where I am. Like I said, I don't really get much opportunity to reflect because you're just on to the next. And there are a lot of exciting things coming in the future. So just stay tuned. But yeah, I'm just overall really proud.
Stay tuned. Well, Treasure, it was a pleasure to have you on Real Talk with MJ again. Like, I get real sensitive about like who I bring on because Real Talk's my baby,
Yeah,
and I'm really like I want to bring in like heavy hitters every single time I
yeah,
have a guest on here. Definitely one of them ones. We're always locked in. They told me, hey, I got other people ask me about to be on their podcast, but I made sure to be on yours. So y'all
of
definitely
course.
like show us some love in the comments, everything, all her like links to Instagram, all that. The links to It Is What It Is will be down below in the description. Show her some love, and you got any thoughts, any comments for like the people watching?
Um, well, if you aren't tuned in, make sure to tune in. It is what it is. We have a new episode dropping soon with Paul Pierce. And overall, thanks so much for watching. And y'all, stay tuned with MJ. He's killing it as always. Y'all know we locked in and we next up. So, like I always say, if you're not tuned in, you tuned out. So,
No, no media. With that being said, y'all, it's Real Talk MJ with Trezor Wilson. We out, y'all.